Roddy. Speaking for The Price is Right, a Mark Goodson television production.
It was a match made in hell.
You and Brooke, you stupid fool!
And now they're taking the heat.
Macy is dead because of Brooke. I didn't kill her!
I will do everything I have to do to destroy you.
They are going to pay for what they did, I swear it.
This week, what happens next is everything on The Bold and the Beautiful.
From the heart of the tri-state area, street level on 5th Avenue, with Cindy Shue, Lisa Hill, and Ira Joe Fisher's weather. You're watching News 2 at noon.
Right now on News 2 at noon, a tearful goodbye to a New York City police officer. He died a hero in the line of duty, chasing a suspect with a long criminal past. Good afternoon. I'm Todd McDermott. City has the day off.
Thousands of fellow officers, along with Mayor Giuliani, are now at a church on Staten Island. They're joining the family of the late officer John Kelly to mourn his passing. They're also there to remember the husband, the father, the son, and the police officer who gave his life serving our city. News 2 reporter Hazel Sanchez is at the church right now with our top story. Hazel?
Well, Lisa, thousands upon thousands of law enforcement officers from local precincts and much greater distances in New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, Rhode Island, and even Florida. They have all made their way here to Our Lady Star of the Sea to say goodbye to one of their own, Officer John Kelly. A chain of police officers lined Amboy Road in Huguenot for as far as the eye could see. A clear testament to the true brotherhood of law enforcement. They are co-workers, friends, and strangers. Mayor Giuliani and Police Commissioner Howard Safer were among the dignitaries here to pay their respects to the fallen officer who lived to protect their city. The church bells, color guard, and bellowing sounds of drums were followed by a sorrowful procession. With the bagpipe tribute of song, sounds that touch the deepest parts of an officer's soul, the casket of Officer John Kelly was carried into Our Lady Star of the Sea, followed by Kelly's grieving family, a family of police officers, including 3 of Kelly's brothers and his widow, Patricia. Now, the funeral services are still going on at this hour. The church, as you see behind me, obviously too small to carry the large number of officers who have traveled here to say goodbye to Officer Kelly. Most of the officers here are actually outside, if you can pan out this way, listening to the service on speakers out here. But it has been a very emotional morning out here, very difficult for most. But one police officer's wife told me her deepest sympathies go to Officer Kelly's 2 young sons, a 3-year-old and a 9-month-old baby, 2 little boys who will never know their daddy. Reporting live from Huguenot, Hazel Sanchez, News 2.
The fact is, the hardest part just beginning. Hazel, thank you. Grief and disbelief also this noon from another family. A loved one was one of 4 victims of a BB gun sniper firing from a rooftop. The victim was hit in the chest and died. News 2 reporter Pablo Guzman is live in East New York with more on this story. Pablo?
Yeah, that bullet went through his chest into the aorta. It was just one of those shots that hit, unfortunately, right at the right place and killed that man. From the rooftop just above us, somebody fired a couple of BB guns at random at several people in the street, hitting one person, for example, at the near corner, and even as far away as the next corner. This investigation is still ongoing. It was first broken, this story, by Rocco Parascandola in the New York Post. And as you just said, one of the people that was hit was killed, a man who, yes, was in the wrong place at the wrong time. A brother in anguish asks his mother why. Why is his brother dead? And there really is no satisfactory answer. At first, Joffrey Cedeno's family did not want to talk with me on camera, and that was quite understandable. Their brother, son, uncle, friend had just been murdered when a stranger, 19-year-old Marcel Vacher, fired BBs at random from his rooftop at Jerome and Atlantic. Actually, Vacher hit 4 people within a 6-hour stretch, slightly wounding 2, taking out the eye of a 3rd, and finally killing Joffrey Cedeno.
And my sister called me to tell me that the cops were here at the house, that I killed my brother.
And when you heard that this happened because some guy was shooting from a roof?
He was shooting from the rooftop. My brother was a good guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why they had to kill him.
Why would he do that? The cousin of the alleged shooter came over to our truck. She wanted to set the record straight. Did he do any of this? I mean, you know, I don't...
Probably. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm not saying that he didn't do it because I haven't spoken to him yet.
Right.
But the person that I know that he is, he'll take the rap. He'll take the rap and...
So you're saying that it could have been that there were other friends of his up there on the roof?
Yes.
And they were all were taking turns?
I understand there was two more with him.
It has taken police a while to try to sort all this out because the first couple of people that were hit did not report what happened. It was only until the more serious incidents occurred that police began putting it together. In fact, now they've updated the number of people hit from 4 to 5. They now believe that a fifth person, a gentleman, was struck by those BB guns. And as I said, they're still trying to put this all together. Reporting from East New York, Pablo Guzman, News 2.
Thanks, Pablo. There are several late developments to tell you about this noon in our News 2 West Nile watch. Late this morning, the mayor announced the discovery of more infected dead birds and plans for more spraying. But that spraying has now put the city at odds with the feds. News 2 reporter Marcella Palmer has the latest. She's live in Staten Island. Marcella?
Lisa, the city says all it's trying to do is keep New Yorkers safe from the deadly West Nile virus, but it keeps running into resistance. First, environmental groups are challenging the city for using the pesticide Anvil, and now the feds are saying for the city to keep its spray away from federal land. The West Nile virus has reared its ugly head once again. This time the disease has been discovered in a dead blue jay in Douglaston, Queens, and a dead sparrow and crow in Great Kills and Bay Terrace, Staten Island. That brings the total of West Nile carrying birds to 5 in New York. Pesticide spraying to kill mosquitoes who may feed off the infected birds, then pass the virus on to humans, starts Monday at 10 p.m. But the federal government won't let the city spray every place it feels necessary, like over lakes and streams.
Got to separate this into two things. First of all, national federal land. That's controlled by the federal government. And they make the determination as to whether they're going to spray or not. And we've requested that they do that.
Despite federal resistance, Giuliani has support from the city health commissioner and Queens and Staten Island borough presidents. Giuliani announced this morning the city's plan to ground spray the areas in Queens and Staten Island where the dead birds were found. Here they are in Queens: Bayside, Belrose, Douglas Manor, Douglaston, Floral Park, Glen Oaks, Hollis Hills, Little Neck, North Shore Towers, and Oakland Gardens. In Staten Island, all of Staten Island will be sprayed except for Westerly and Rossville. They've already been sprayed with the pesticide.
The insecticides that are used are all improved. They're very safe. They pose no danger of fatality.
The city will once again use the pesticide Anvil, the same pesticide environmental groups say raises the risk of breast cancer. The coalition of environmental activists has already gone to federal court to stop the city from spraying the pesticide. The suit also asks fines of more than $27,000 be imposed each day the city sprayed. That includes last year. Once again, Staten Island and Queens spraying starts next Monday at 10 a.m. through Tuesday at 5 a.m. No spraying over the weekend. Reporting live from Arden Heights, Marcella Palmer, News 2.
Marcella, thank you. Westchester County will also spray for infected mosquitoes from 11:30 tonight to 4:30 tomorrow morning. Communities affected are New Rochelle, Eastchester, Tuckahoe, Bronxville, and Mamaroneck. Also getting sprayed: Scarsdale, Mount Kisco, Pound Ridge, Lewisboro, and Bedford. Pesticide experts say stay inside during the spraying. Keep your windows closed, your pets inside, and your air conditioners off. Anything directly exposed to the spray should be washed with soap and water. Stay with News 2. We'll give you more complete coverage of the West Nile threat. We'll let you know more about the local spraying programs as well. Our in-depth reports continue this afternoon on News 2 at 4.
Got some breaking news right now in the Bronx. The Cross Bronx Expressway is shut down eastbound because a truck is leaking liquid nitrogen. Trapper 2 is live over the scene. Jim Smith, what do you see?
And Lisa, what we can tell you is that originally when crews arrived here on the scene, they were worried that this truck was leaking some sort of a chemical. That apparently is not the case now, but we can tell you that it leaked approximately 30 gallons of diesel fuel onto the highway. As a result of all this, they've had to shut down the eastbound Cross Bronx at White Plains Road. We can bring you back and show you the delays. They begin back by the George Washington Bridge, so if you are traveling through the Bronx, avoid the area at any cost. Lisa, Todd, back to you.
All right, thanks, Jim. A little girl from Staten Island is still clinging to life this noon after her sister made the ultimate sacrifice to save her. 14-year-old Tina Johnson and her 3-year-old sister Christy were fishing with their father in Great Kills yesterday when Christy got swept away by the wake of another boat. Tina tried desperately to save her, but the current was just too strong, and she was pulled under. Well, two fishermen were nearby. They were able to grab little Christy from the water, rushed her to shore. One of them performed CPR on her.
Well, she just opened her eyes and she regurgitated some water and all. So I held on to her and I kept talking to her, and that's when the boat was beached, and I handed her off to the people that were on the beach, and they took her from there.
Now, firefighters found older sister Tina a little while later, but she died at Staten Island University Hospital, where her younger sister is in critical but stable condition right now. Her father had also jumped into the water. He's been treated and released from the hospital.
A little boy who slipped off a rooftop has lost his fight for life. 10-year-old Luis Santiago, seen here on the left, died late last night at Columbia Presbyterian Medical Center. The boy fell from the rooftop of his apartment building in Washington Heights Wednesday. He was playing ball with his brother and two cousins when he slipped and fell 6 stories to the ground below.
There's late word of some late-breaking developments at Camp David that could cause some very emotional reactions in the Jewish and Arab communities here in New York. An Israeli cabinet minister says Ehud Barak has approved a plan to share administrative control of Jerusalem's Palestinian neighborhoods. Now it's up to the U.S. to sell the idea to Palestinian leader Yasser Arafat. He could accept the proposal or hold out for sovereignty over East Jerusalem. Arafat has said he would make that area a Palestinian state in September, with or without Israel's approval. Of course, an official news blackout is in effect, and these are just reports that are leaking out. The White House says President Clinton may leave Japan early to return to Camp David.
Back in Washington, Congress taking unusual steps that may allow travel to our island neighbor to the south, Cuba. Lawmakers voted just last night to lift a nearly 40-year ban on travel, allowing Americans to vacation freely in Cuba. They also voted to lift limits on food and drug sales to the country, but it's not clear when that proposed law would actually take effect. Just this morning, the Senate gave its final approval to a tax bill that would end the so-called marriage penalty. The measure cuts income taxes for married couples by nearly $300 billion over 10 years, but the bill is considered dead in the water. It is certain to be vetoed by the president.
There is much more ahead on News 2 at noon. One of the survivor castaways is wanted for a felony. We have that story.
Also coming up, a new family tragedy for morning TV host Katie Cook. We'll tell you what's wrong.
Relentless heat is what's wrong down south. We're going to update the scorching situation, and Ira will have the weekend weather for us.
Plus, don't miss the newest addition at the Bronx Zoo. Stay with News 2 at noon.
News 2 closed captioning is brought to you by Toyota. Real values every day.
Modern Woman, a favorite for women's plus-size clothing, is making some exciting alterations to the stores in the New York area. Starting Monday, July 17th, and throughout the month of July, Modern Woman will be changing its name to Catherine's Plus Sizes. A new name with all new merchandise, but with the same friendly staff and the same convenient locations. To celebrate, you can save 20% throughout the store. Catherine's Plus Sizes, formerly Modern Woman, for fashions that fit and flatter your figure.
Catherine's has that plus.
Now with 20 locations in the New York area.
November 23, 1998. To settle state lawsuits, America's major tobacco companies signed a tobacco settlement agreement that provides the states over $200 billion and restricts the marketing of tobacco products. The agreement bans all tobacco company billboards and transit advertising. No more tobacco logos on clothing or merchandise. No paid tobacco product placement in movies. And no more cartoon characters selling cigarettes. The agreement strictly prohibits the marketing of tobacco to kids. It restricts tobacco brand sponsorship of team sports and entertainment events. And it provides $1.5 billion to fund youth anti-smoking ads and education. But don't take our word for it. For more information, call for a copy of the Tobacco Settlement Agreement. Because things are changing. And at Philip Morris, we wanted you to know.
The scene across the South is absolutely devastating this noon. A scorching heat wave has killed a dozen people in Texas alone. Farmers are suffering with withering crops, and you and I will undoubtedly have to pay the price. News 2 reporter Maureen Maher has the latest from a sweltering Dallas.
How hot is it in the South?
It's real hot. You know, you can feel the heat coming off the pavement.
From people to plants, a deadly heat wave now entering a second week is taking its toll. At least 24 people have died. Hundreds more, like this Houston construction worker, have been sent to the hospital suffering from heat exhaustion. Particularly hard hit by the triple digits, seniors.
It's so hot that I really can't take it.
And shut-ins. Cordell McCarter is paralyzed from the neck down. Even with 3 fans on, it was 100 degrees inside his room. And for those who don't have fans, volunteers have stepped in to deliver some relief.
With the little money that they get, they may not have that extra $17 to buy a fan.
A northwesterly wind is expected to blow into this region later on this weekend, and that should cool things down a bit. Temperatures are expected to go down to about the mid-90s. And while that may not sound like much, in some parts of the south, that's a 10-degree difference. Maureen Maher, CBS News, Dallas.
All right, besides that cool front Maureen talked about, relief could be on the way for the Southwest in the form of weekend showers that could cool it down, at least temporarily. Ira Joe Fisher will be here in just a few minutes with our weekend forecast.
Now for your CBS Market Watch, troubled tech stocks on Wall Street, and they may cause investors to end the week on a down note. Let's go ahead and get the latest from Alexis Christoforous. She's live at the NASDAQ site in Times Square. Hi, Alexis.
Hi, Lisa. You know what a difference a day makes. I was here yesterday telling you about triple-digit gains. Well, today we've got triple-digit losses. Let's take a look at the numbers this noon. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down by 93 points at 10,750. The NASDAQ Composite off its worst level of the day. At its worst, it was down 120. The NASDAQ now down 56. Investors are trying to digest some mixed earnings news today. Let's take the bad news first. America Online is getting hit. Even though earnings beat the street by 2 cents a share, investors are worried because revenue at AOL rose less than expected. Agilent, big victim today, down more than 5. It's a test and measurement company that was spun off from Hewlett-Packard last year. It warned of disappointing profits. And Eastman Kodak, not picture perfect today. The photography giant's earnings were in line with estimates. Obviously not good enough for this fickle market. Now for the good news. Here at the NASDAQ, we've got shares of Sun Microsystems up nearly 7% after earnings at Sun beat the street by 6 cents a share. And take a look at Palm Inc. It is up better than 4%. It will be added to the S&P 500 index, which means money managers are now forced to buy the stock. Palm will replace 3Com on the S&P 500 July 27th when 3Com spins off Palm. That spinoff is expected to be completed at the end of the month. We're live at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. I'm Alexis Christoforous, CBS Market Watch.
Okay, thanks, Alexis. We'll get another update at News 2 at 4. Still ahead, Katie Couric has a new cancer scare in her family to deal with, and we'll tell you what that is.
Also, a happy story. We have pictures to show you of the new baby gorilla at the Bronx Zoo.
Plus, the survivor contestant who's in trouble with the law. Don't miss why.
And what is in store for your weekend on the weather front? Ira has the forecast you should see.
This serene, sunny, summery scene belies the weather that's ahead. By tonight, we'll be talking rain showers. Stay tuned. We'll expand upon that very subject.
I'm Deborah Norville. The sleep position pediatricians recommend for infants saves lives, but some doctors say it could flatten some babies' heads. Are babies in helmets the answer? Inside Edition today at 3:30 right here on CBS 2.
Take the Gold Bond Challenge. Compare your regular powder to Gold Bond powder and discover the difference between fresh and refreshing. Whoa. Take the Gold Bond Challenge. Discover the difference between fresh and refreshing.
Introducing a new gift of nature, Dexatrim Natural. Its unique dual-action formula combines the power to burn fat while you eat less. Its herbal ingredients have been used in Asia for 2,000 years. Dexatrim Natural, the power of nature, the proof of Dexatrim.
Your dream home. It's all yours. What a nightmare.
Honey, how did I wake up? The appraiser, remember?
With HUD's FHA Homebuyer Protection Plan, you get the right loan, a fair price, and a thorough appraisal. If any problems are found, you'll know about them before you close. 30 million Americans have trusted us to build their dreams. Call for information on HUD homes and FHA loans. HUD and FHA are on your side.
From the 1930s through the 70s, men and women worked hard to keep America strong in shipyards, powerhouses, and construction throughout New York. They were unaware of the silent killer, asbestos, that gave many of them mesothelioma, lung cancer, or asbestosis. If you are an asbestos victim or a surviving relative, call Whites and Luxembourg at 1-888-411-LAWS for a consultation and booklet. Whites and Luxembourg, setting the standard in asbestos litigation for over a decade.
Your baby has you to introduce her to all the goodness nature intended.
It's easy. Only Gerber has Nature Lock, a gentler way of cooking fruits and veggies, locking in a fresh pick taste. without adding any sugar or starch.
The love she deserves is the best you can give her. Yes, your baby has you, and you have Gerber.
Shouldn't your baby be a Gerber baby?
Watch Wayne Brady, Kathy Najimy, Melissa Gilbert, and Ananda Lewis next Hollywood Squares.
Tonight at 7:30 on CBS-2.
One of the remaining survivor castaways on CBS has to face felony charges after leaving the island. We're talking about Kelly, the river guide. She's wanted in her home state of North Carolina. She's charged with using a stolen credit card to buy $500 worth of merchandise. Kelly grew up in Greensboro, North Carolina, and her father says a friend of hers gave her the card to use but did not tell her it was stolen. Kelly now lives in Nevada, but Greensboro police say she will be arrested if she ever returns to North Carolina.
There's one less contestant on the CBS reality-based show Big Brother. William was voted out of the locked house last night, and even his family wasn't surprised. William, whose real name is Hiram Ashanti, seemed thrilled at first, at least that's his other name. Then he had to answer questions about his links to the new Black Panther Party. He admitted that, yes, he had been a member, but he quit the group that some call a hate group 4 months ago. He refused to say why.
Did you watch it all?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. We need to know more about the weather, though. We got changes on the way, rain coming our way. Ira's out there to tell us all about it. I want to know.
Absolutely. We start with checking this very moment in this very spot. Temperature 78 degrees, and it's mostly sunny right now. And lovely people visiting New York City right now. Here are your other temperatures and data. A southwest wind at 13 miles an hour, gusting up to 19, 52% humidity. The barometer is falling in anticipation of some rain doing the same. And around our region, the low 70s into the middle 70s, too, in the city, the upper 70s. Here's our satellite picture. The deal is this. There's a cold front that's off to the west, and it's going to move into your neighborhood and mine. We'll see the clouds begin to increase during the afternoon. We could have the showers by, well, evening, perhaps. And there could also, given the warmth of today that's anticipated, be some thunderstorms. Beach and boat forecast, air temperature 75 to 83, and that's helping the water to warm up to 67 to 73. That UV index is at 7. That's high. Make sure you put on your sunblock. And then today will be partly cloudy, showers late in the day, maybe thunderstorms, upper 70s to lower 80s. And tonight will wind up being quite cloudy with a good chance of the showers continuing off and on through the night. Lows in the 50s and 60s. The Yanks are playing tonight at the stadium. 7:05 first pitch. The Tampa Bay Devil Rays against the Bronx Bombers. First pitch temperature 74. Could have a shower, but looks like the game will happen. And here's our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow quite cloudy all day. Pretty good chance of showers, and can't rule out isolated thunderstorms. Sunday, though, we'll start out with clouds. They'll stick around for most of the day. Could have some breaks in the cover. 82 the high. And then Monday, we're back into the 70s, even with the sunshine, back into the 80s on Tuesday and Wednesday. We go from partly sunny Tuesday to a mix of sunshine and clouds on Wednesday. Looks like the weekend's going to be nice. You fold it in half. You get some rain for the lawn on Saturday and some clearing and whatever other nonsense we want to engage in on a Sunday afternoon, you know, throwing the frisbee or whatever. Todd, Lisa?
Okay. Thank you, Ira.
When we come back, cancer hits close to home again for TV host Katie Couric.
Also, it's good news for the neighborhood. A welcome for a baby gorilla at the Bronx Zoo. We'll be right back.
What makes you smile? How about two great new, great big tastes? Introducing McDonald's Barbecue Bacon Big Extra. A great big, juicy burger, tangy barbecue sauce, crispy bacon, and zesty pepper jack cheese. You're smiling. And our barbecue bacon crispy chicken sandwich. The same great taste with crispy, tasty chicken. Got a big appetite? We have 2 new ways to get you smiling. Big time. For a limited time, so hurry in. We'd love to see you smile.
What would you do for a Klondike bar?
Would you sing I'm a Little Teapot for a Klondike bar?
No, not me.
We interrupt this Klondike temptation for big news. Introducing the Klondike Big Bear Cone. We start with a Klondike Crispy Cone. Add rich, delicious chocolate covering a mountain of luscious Klondike ice cream. Topped with munchy, crunchy peanuts. The Klondike Big Bear Cone. Think big.
What would you do for a Klondike cone?
Turned down again? Can't anyone help me get the loan I need to buy a car?
Bad credit, divorce, bankruptcy, repossession.
No problem. Even if you've been turned down before, 1-800-BUY-A-CAR can get you the loan you need in minutes. And right now, you can get a great deal on this Kia Sportage SUV, Sepia, or Spectra hatchback for very little down and super low payments.
I called 1-800-BUY-A-CAR and got the loan I needed and a great deal on this car. Thank you, 1-800-BUY-A-CAR. 1-800-BUY-A-CAR.
Call now.
Even if it runs on electricity, it runs on fuel. Fortunately, appliances with the Energy Star label are more efficient for a cleaner environment.
Delta Burke's all-new interview, her weight loss and her reported feud with Dixie Carter, plus Regis, Kathy Lee, and NSYNC. Next DT.
Tonight at 7 on CBS-2.
It happens overseas.
New and exclusive information on Osama bin Laden. Inside details from Manila.
Statement obtained exclusively.
It happens close to home.
New and exclusive information about the controversial drug resin.
Wherever it happens.
Seen for the first time tonight.
It's all here.
We broke the story of
the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather.
Women concerned about losing your hair, expert advice on what you can do. Plus, Friday fashions for full-figured gals on the Saturday Early Show.
If you think tuberculosis is a disease modern medicine has finally licked, don't be too sure. Better yet, watch 60 Minutes Sunday.
People making news this noon. Katie Couric, the Today Show host, again faces cancer in her family. Her sister Emily is battling pancreatic cancer. Emily Couric is a Democratic state senator in Virginia and was planning to run for lieutenant governor next year. Because of her illness, she is pulling out of that race. Her younger sister Katie, of course, lost her husband to colon cancer just 2 years ago.
Finally this noon, there is a new addition at the Bronx Zoo that's got everybody going ape. We're getting our first look at Suki, who was born on Monday. The baby, whose name means beloved, is the first lowland gorilla born at the zoo's new Congo Gorilla Forest exhibit, and Suki's right there in her mom's arms.
Yeah, there she is.
Could be a she, though. You know what?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, because mom is keeping such a close tie and a hold onto that little baby. Now, you might remember the baby's father. Suki's dad is Timmy. He's the gorilla that came from Cleveland in 1991 in the hopes that he'd find romance in the Bronx, because he didn't in Cleveland. So far, though, he has sired not one, not two, but 12 babies since he moved to the Bronx.
The Bronx was good for Timmy.
It was good. Fertile ground there.
I think my kids would rather have a gorilla baby next as opposed to a regular brother or sister. It might be a little more fun.
It would be.
I'll mention it. Now, for a look at what we're working on for News 2 at 4, here are Dina Tyler and Stephen Clark.
Coming up today on News 2 at 4, it's the book that sparked big-time controversy, accusing Hillary Clinton of a Jewish slur. Live at 4, our political reporter Marcia Kramer grills the author.
Also a very special world premiere by the Alvin Ailey Dance Theater. The artistic director joins us live at 4 with a sneak peek.
Plus, are jeans appropriate, or how about a T-shirt? At 4, a live fashion show with the do's and don'ts of casual Friday dressing.
We hope to see you at 4.
I'm Todd McDermott. Thanks for joining us here at noon.
And I'm Lisa Hill. We'll both see you back here at 5 o'clock. In the meantime, have a fantastic Friday afternoon, everybody.
American Agents Man. American Agents Man.
Canceled?
Another cancellation.
But I only had one accident.
Not again.
I need my car to get to work.
This is a case for American Agent Man. Trouble with high auto insurance premium? Been canceled? I'll get you an affordable policy even if your driving record's not so pretty. Call American Agents Insurance. 1-888-74-AGENT.
American Agents Man.
Pontiac Survivor Scorecard. Richard & Company does it again. Greg's a gunner. Now, with only 8 people left, the game gets personal. Has Jervis's luck finally run out? Or will Jenna see her kids sooner than she planned? And who will be the last to survive and come home with $1 million? Watch Survivor, Wednesday at 8, only on CBS-2. This Survivor Scorecard is brought to you by Pontiac.
This summer, the U.S. Olympic team will deliver many exciting performances. And as an official sponsor of the 2000 U.S. Olympic team, Pontiac is celebrating with some excitement of its own. Now, during the Pontiac U.S. Olympic Countdown, you can lease a 2000 Grand Am SE for as low as $249 per month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for important lease details. Don't wait for the Olympic Games to enjoy exciting performance. Get to your Pontiac dealer now for the best selection.
It's a simple truth that grandkids are a reward for the stress your children gave you. It's a simple truth that your health is more valuable than any possession. Here's another simple truth. Getting more value from your Medicare coverage is easier than you might think. All you have to do is call now and get this free booklet about Medicare Complete from United Healthcare. It gives you simple truths on how to get more coverage than Medicare alone without monthly plan premiums. Find out how to get more service, more travel benefits, more care coordination than Medicare alone, all for no monthly plan premium. Which brings to mind one more simple truth. The best things in life are free. Call now and get your free booklet. There's no obligation. Medicare Complete from United Healthcare.